going to the British public around travel, advice around the borders, and it's how that advice is aggregated that then leads to the collective decision-making, whether it's borders or other aspects of the pandemic that, we've all experienced and we've all been involved in.
Can you now admit as government that herd immunity was the policy until March?
Not at all, no. Absolutely not. Our policy, from the outset, Andrew, the policy and the strategy...
So why is Dominic Cummings telling us that that's true?
Well, I can't speak for Mr Cummings and one individual, but what...
So if you say it's not true, he said it was on all the graphs, it was on all the paperwork in those crucial meetings. Presumably, therefore, he cannot be bringing hard evidence of this. If you say it's not true...
So what I would say to this, I'm not going to comment on what Mr Cummings is going to say or also what is being speculated about right now. I think it's important, and the British public will know this. Andrew, we all remember the intensity of the pandemic when the pandemic hit last year.
But I'm asking about the decisions.
And the decisions that were undertaken in government. And by our Prime Minister, rightly so, collectively, he showed great leadership at a very difficult time. Closing the economy down, locking the country down as well. Big, big unprecedented decisions that were based on data and evidence. And our strategy was always about protecting public health, saving lives and protecting the NHS.
Okay,
and all colleagues, absolutely all colleagues involved in those meetings and discussions, working with the chief scientists and chief medical officers, will absolutely recognise that from the very difficult discussions that we had. And Andrew, at a time of a crisis, when government is making very, very tough decisions, difficult decisions, we put public life and protecting the public at the forefront of all those decisions.
You are found to have broken the ministerial code. The Prime Minister is under investigation over the ministerial code. Does the ministerial code still matter?
Well, look, I mean, the ministerial code itself is there for a reason, and there's work taking place right now in terms of reviewing that. Now, I think...
Reviewing the code?
Well, I think at this stage, this isn't about breaking codes and things of that nature. We're all just getting on in government, doing very difficult jobs, actually, coming out of this pandemic. You've just asked me about decisions that were made last year, and all ministers currently are focused on getting on doing that job.
Final question. Nicola Sturgeon has asked you to stop the deportation of people from Glasgow because of community hostility to that there. Are you going to do that?
Well, the government has a responsibility to remove people from the United Kingdom with no legal status to be here.
So that's a no.
And that includes some of the individuals, foreign national offenders and people that have brought great harm to our country. So we will continue to enforce our laws and legislation to remove those with no legal basis to be in the UK.
Home Secretary, thanks very much indeed for coming in. Now, I'm joined now